Still glitching?
It's better.
Hi guys, Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. We are back with the Lonestar. Let's make a Lonestar, right? So I obviously am probably way ahead of anybody that's trying to follow these, but that's okay. If you are new to my channel, subscribe, like, share, and comment if you're watching this as a replay. So here are my 8 blocks. It is upside down, but that's okay. We're gonna lay this out so that I can explain the next step because I'm doing something different, which you can follow along as well.
Hi, Vicky.
But for those that want to do it a different way with just the plain squares, I'm going to lay this out and then explain it real quick, and then we'll go mount the camera in the room and go from there. But for
Hi,
now,
Diane. Hi,
I
Ellen.
want you
Hi, Kim.
guys to see what's gonna happen when this is laid out.
Hi, Brenda.
So I'm going to lay this out here on the floor. So that you can see
Hi, Judy.
what's going to happen when I lay all these out.
Vicky has her surgery on the 18th. Good luck, Vicky. Hope it goes well.
All right, so this is what it will look like.
Do you want to hold it now?
Yep.
Okay.
So here is what it's going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to explain this real quick. This is very big. These are 6 by 6 blocks. You guys saw in video 1 and video 2, they're 6 by 6 blocks. And it looks like it doesn't match up only because it's not put together yet.
Hi, Nancy.
This square section right here, up here, over there, and down here in the corner, those sections you cut 4 22-inch blocks. Out loud, I am saying 4 22-inch blocks for where my hand is, this blank section right there, 22-inch blocks. Then you cut them once
Hi, Linda.
on the diagonal. Okay? This is if you just want to do one solid piece in all of this. So 4 22-inch blocks, cut on the diagonal one time. And it's going to get pieced together if you do these the same way I'm piecing what I'm doing differently. It's going to be pieced together the same way.
Bye-bye.
Then to create the blocks for this section, right here, right there, over there, and over here, to create the box in that section, you need one, I know this is going to be a very hard piece for some of you to cut, you need one 33-inch block. You're going to cut that 33-inch square on the diagonal once, on the diagonal twice. So it'll be crossed both ways so that you will have quarter square triangles that'll have the biases on this edge and the edge, but not along this edge. It'll be a straight of grain along the outside of all 4 of those pieces. Now, to do it even better, you can cut them in half, because if you keep them in one solid piece, you will have to do a Y seam right there. Same with those. If you kept them in solid, it would be a Y seam right there. That doesn't bother me. But you can cut them also in half. So you would just fold the triangle in half, find your center point, and then cut it exactly in half. So that's how that will work. Okay, just letting you know in advance what I'm going to be building for this sections is also going to be those same exact sizes, and I'm going to put them together the way that it would be if we were just using a solid square. So let's go to the room. I'm just going to leave this here for Scotty to pick up, and we'll set up in there.
Do I have to put it together like you had?
Yeah, in quarter sections. Because this is 1/4.
Okay.
This is 1/4. That's 1/4 and that's 1/4.
Okay. I got it.
All right, let's go to the room. It's going to move around. Let's put you on the mount. Ta-da. Plug it in. Plug it in. And adjust it ever so slightly. There we go. So, welcome to the sewing room. That's always the process that is the hardest, is laying it out on a floor. And I'm going to have to do that all again when I'm done making the next part to this quilt. So the next part that I'm doing different for a Lonestar is I'm going to be building blocks that go inside those sections that will equal that same exact size that I told you guys. So if you just want to do plain background, which would be the white, in all of those sections, you need a 22-inch squares cut in half on the diagonal once, and then 1 33-inch block cut on the diagonal twice, and then you can cut those in half. That way it can get put together nicely with no Y seams. So I am building something different. I didn't sleep, so I'm super hyper. All right, so what I am doing is, it's on the back of one of these. I was trying to play with the measurements, and I'm going to build that right there. Some star point, some more stars. So it's going to be lone stars around lone stars. It won't be alone.
Hi, June. Hi,
Because
Brenda.
it won't be the only star. Get it? It won't be alone. So what I'm going to do, let's keep this next to me, is I'm going to cut fabric, and I'm going to tell you if you want to follow along with what I'm doing.
Hi, Brenda. Hey, Brenda. We got 2 Brendas on here. Brenda
Hello,
wants
everybody
to know
that's
if you can
joining.
give the dimensions of the Missouri quilt roll that's laying on your table right now. She wants to order it.
This one or this one? This one is 5 by 15. This is a 5 by 15 ruler
Morning,
from
Joyce.
Missouri Star. It's great for pre-cuts. That's what they designed it for. And this one is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's 2.5 by 8-inch ruler. And again, it's great for pre-cuts. They're my always here go-to rulers. So that's what I use. All right, so now we're going to use the same size cuts that we were using before, except my little diagram, I'm doing 2 different kinds of 4 patches. So we're going to go ahead and cut the strips needed for the 2 different style 4 patches. And we're going to be making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks, except they will be in portions. So 4 of them will be whole blocks and 4 of them will be half blocks.
Angie has the same quilting machine as you, and she wants to know what kind of thread do you use?
You mean on my long arm? My king quilter? You have the same king quilter? I use glide. I use glide thread on my king quilter. It runs smoothly. I have less mess. It's so easy to clean in the bobbin area. I need all the colors except for white.
We got it right.
Yes, I need all the colors except for white today. So I need to cut 2 strips that are D and E. So I need to refer to my chart for D and E. D is my blue sky and E is the blue scratch one. So I'll move those out of the way. We're going to do D and E first. And I'm going to cut 1 3/4 inch strips. And I'm only going to cut 2. I'm thinking right now. Yes, I'm going to cut 2. So let's get to it. 2 1 3/4 inch strips off of each of these.
Angie said thank you. And so did Brenda.
You're welcome.
Felt it a little bit.
So I'm just going to line up right here. You're probably not even seeing this section because I'm down here.
I can turn it.
Oh, that's fine. I got it now.
They could see that one area, just not taller.
All right, so I'm cutting 2 1 3/4 inch strips of this one. I'm hoping my idea looks good because I haven't actually pre-made a block just to see what it looks like. I was waiting to be on camera with you guys to do it all with you. All right, so there's 2 of those. Throw this out of the way. And we need 2 of these at 1 3/4 inch because we're building those same 4 patch pieces. Ooh, we have a wonkiness going on here. I need to straighten it up. I don't know how it happens, but it happens. Come on.
Every now and then it just gets wonky.
Yeah, like super duper wonky.
Wonky, wonky.
It's super wonky today. All right, again, 1 3/4 inch. I need 2 of them.
Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie asked, "Will you give the measurements for the white square we on your
Yeah,
Facebook
I'll
page?"
remind it for you guys. At least for the size Lone Star that I'm making here. Because
Yeah,
this
if you
is
guys
for
are
a
doing
full
different
size
size
bed.
one, then yeah, your measurements might be off.
Yeah, your measurements will be different. And I can actually tell you how to get the measurement for whatever size Lone Star you decide to make, honestly. I can tell you how to get that measurement. All right, and then the next ones that I'm going to cut, so these are going to get paired together. Like this, and those are going to get sewn together. And then these
Bonnie
2
says, "Thanks so much."
will get sewn together. The next pair is A and B. So I need turquoise leaves and blue dots. A and B. So again, I'm going to cut 1 3/4 inch off of both of these. 2 of them. I'm hoping I will get all 6 blocks from this. I'm pretty sure I will. I did not do any math for this part, nor did I do anything I was supposed to do for this, because usually I pre-build a block and make sure everything looks right. But again, I wanted to wait till I was on video. All right, so there's 2 1 3/4 of that. And now I cut 2 1 3/4 of this, because this is a pair for a 4 patch.
Bonnie says, "That is so wonderful to give us the measurements for ours when we get together. Thanks."
Yeah. And I'll make sure that you guys know how to measure for future blocks. Or for future quilts, I mean, different sizes. And it will be with any size, so no matter what size diamonds you use, you'll be able to use this to get your size squares. So again, I'm going to pair these up, and these will get sewn together. And then the next thing that I'm cutting is this. So I need, because this is my C fabric, I'm going to cut 3 inch and then subcut them, and I need to make 6, so I got to think about this. I'm making 6 blocks that have 2 each in them. How much is that, Scotty?
6 blocks that have 2 each, so I'm taking 6 times 2, that's 12.
Times 8. 12 times 8 now.
12 times 8?
Yeah.
96.
Okay. So I'm cutting 3 inch strips. I'm going to cut I'm going to cut 4 of them for now and hope that's enough because I'm not really going to do any math. I don't want to have too many extra. This is why I bought extra. This is why I bought extra yardage. So that way, you know, you guys weren't freaking out that, oh my God, you have so much extra. Well, I actually bought a lot because I'm building into it. And this is just me being creative. So I'm just cutting 4 for now, and then I'm going to subcut them into diamonds.
Good morning, Jessica. Jessica says hello.
Welcome everybody joining. All right, so I'm just going to stack all of these up, and I'm going to cut diamonds off of them.
Angie says very pretty choice of colors.
And then we're going to put together the strips and build diamonds off of those. So I'm going to line this on the 45-degree line. It's all going to cross this 7 at the selvage, just like that. There's the 7, it's coming down past that. Perfect. I'm going to start by cutting off the selvage and extra. And again, I'm saving all of my beautiful scraps. Why? Because they are going to get used to make something else in the future. There's no point in throwing any of that away. All right, so I'm going to come over 3 inches. I'm going to make sure that my 45-degree line is lining up, and it is. And then I'm just going to start cutting some diamonds, and if I have to cut more later, I will, because I, again, did not do the math for this. I'm getting a little on the lazy side, my friends. Usually I have everything all together for you. At least I have the numbers for you. That's okay. For the outside, but this is not your average Lonstar. This is me being creative, like always. I see something in my head and I'm like, oh, gotta build it. So that's what I'm doing. And again, oops, that one shifted. I don't throw any of these away. I just my bucket of scraps from just this quilt so I can build another quilt in the future. All right, so I'm just going to stack all these wonderful diamonds up for now because I don't need them just yet. We're going to make some strip sets now with these and then cut those into diamonds. So let's come over to the sewing machine now and start sewing. Can you see the sewing machine? I'm on it. Yeah.
Yes, you're good.
Thank you.
When you sit down, we'll see how much you're in it, and I can move it.
All right, so I'm going to sew these into strip sets. So right sides together. Match them up, and I'm going to sew 1/4 inch seam all the way down because we're going to make diamond 4 patches.
Yep, you're whole. You're all in it. You're good. Am I going to be doing any ironing?
What?
When this is all done, am I going to do any ironing? Should I plug it
Oh,
in?
yeah, you can iron, yes. All right, there's 1. Peel it open and do number 2.
Do you need a water or juice before we
Nope,
get too
I
far?
have water.
Okay.
So I'm just chain piecing them all together. This quilt is going to be so awesome.
Hi, Linda. Linda says you two are early today.
Yeah, I didn't sleep last night, and then I was getting anxious. I was like, do I come on at like 5 o'clock in the morning? Will anybody be on my video? I'm thinking to myself,
I was up. I would have been there.
but nobody else would have been here because it would have been 5, 6, 7. It would be 7 in the morning for my East Coast friends.
Well, you got people in Australia and UK and people everywhere that watch.
So I decided to wait till 8 a.m. I figured it was a more convenient time for my friends. And for those that are new to my channel and don't know, I have severe insomnia. And when I don't sleep, I get super hyper. Like, so very hyper for like as long as I'm awake, for however long I'm awake for. And then one day out of the blue, I will crash and sleep for a long time. That's the sucky part about having multiple illnesses. But that's okay. I get more done when I don't sleep.
In the morning.
All right. So lay this one like this, Scott. Like that.
Linda says she would have been here. She's 3 hours different. She would have been in her PJs drinking coffee.
Like that. Heat it up first and then roll it back so that it is pressed that way, and make sure there's no folds or pleats, please. And then this one, same thing. Dark side. Up.
Okay, where can I put these? They're kind of in my... Hi, Zella.
Just
Nancy
stay off
says
of
she
them,
has
kitty.
severe insomnia too.
Yeah, it's horrible. I don't. And then when I start like getting all like super duper hyper, at some points I think I'm like forgetting everything in between because my brain is just doing this, like seriously just spinning in there.
And says that I am. Oh, am I ironing both sides?
No, you just need to heat it up. You need the stitching on the top so that you can press it open.
Okay, well I don't know what you're doing.
I'm making sure that he's ironing properly.
You confused me. There, I can do it.
Making sure that it's completely and utterly all the way back, and the whole strip has to stay so super straight.
You just want to do it? I can put the other iron on.
There you go. So just flatten it out a little bit more.
Okay, that I can do.
All right, so
Hi, Loretta.
how's the weather for all of you going? Here, give me that while you iron.
Ask them about that accident. Everybody was talking about that Texas accident yesterday. I didn't see anything on it in the news at the gym.
Yeah, I didn't see anything online last night, so I don't know.
Yeah. You think something that big been talking about?
10:56 in Michigan. Anybody sewing? All right, here's one strip. So I'm actually building 4 patches inside 4 patches.
Do you want the
those
lighter
that are
glue
just
always on the
joining.
bottom?
Yeah, and make sure you iron it straight. Keep it straight. So I'm building 4 patches inside of a 4 patch for those that are just joining. So it's 2 4 patches inside of a 4 patch. I know my little drawings kind of suck. You should see how sloppy my star is that I got my numbers for. Look at that. It's so sloppy. Like, seriously. Heat wave here at 8. LOL.
Like this?
Yes.
You want the lighter glues on the bottom and I'm going to iron it that way?
Yep.
Okay.
Make sure there's no fold in it and make sure that strip stays so straight. It's been all over the news. So sad. It's probably just all over the news in some state because it's not, well, we don't get the news, but we would have seen it. And Scott went to the gym this morning where there is news on TV.
Also, I don't know sports stuff.
2 degrees,
That's all I saw.
wind chill is -60. Whew, you guys are just living in some freezing cold areas. I would I think I would die. I probably would. I would probably shrivel up and be dead. There's no way. Cold, just like when I shiver, it makes me feel absolutely horrible and hurts me. That's a lot of beautiful work. Tiffany, can you share the pattern with me? I'm sharing it right now, Ellen. And then obviously in the Facebook group, I've been posting pictures, and I'll add to that same post the next steps. I'll try to draw them up as I can. You guys can just get some sloppy drawings from me, but whatever works, right? So I'll just keep adding photos on there. Okay, so I lied. It's 29 degrees. You had to go look, huh? That's still too cold for me. Woo-wee! It's 58 here, and the wind chill makes it like, I don't know. It's probably more than 58 now. It's probably like 60 by now.
The sun is quite warm. It's the wind that makes it cold.
It's really chilly in the wind.
A few days it was really hot. Like I was sweating the other day helping my buddy do the mechanic work.
I was outside before I came inside, so.
There's nothing else you can do while I am.
And like between Muskin and London, about 8 miles from Lake Michigan.
I'm sorry.
Negative 15 for Joyce, and I'm frozen on this screen. Am I frozen on the other screen? Oh yeah. You can probably hear me, but you can't see me.
It freezes a lot, I told you. There's no internet. That's all it does. I tell you this.
Give me 2 seconds for this to unfreeze. You wanna debut today? You wanna say hi to everybody?
Yes, Thumper wants to say hi.
You wanna say hi? You say hi? Say hi, friends. Say hi, friends. Say hi. No, meow, meow. For anybody that don't know, this is my cat Thumper. He doesn't like to be held, surprisingly. Oh man, now I'm covered in kitty cat hair.
He was just brushed last night.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's what I get for wearing black. Notice I'm wearing my mommy shirt with no battery power today.
Oh, no. Sorry. You gotta move. Sorry, am I going too slow?
Nope, it's fine. I'm just going to start cutting these. All right, so I'm going to start cutting these on the 45-degree angle. I'm just going to stack them on top of each other. We'll get these two before he gets the rest ironed. I'm going to take you guys back down here. What did the internet guys say when they came? They haven't even came back to do the poll yet.
They came a 4th time and they told us it's the best we're gonna get, that we should change our plan. So we called them up to change our plan, and the lady in a very nice way, as nice as could be, she told me just suck it up. So we either stick with our very expensive internet or we change to the other internet, which I wanted to do, but Tiffy likes this one because the videos are clear. With the other one, the videos weren't clear, but it wasn't glitchy. This one's glitchy, but the video's clear. So it's kind of, what do you guys like?
Just stacking all the pieces on here. About 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch away from each other. So that I can cut them all at the same time. Guess I'll just wait for that last piece to be ready.
Hold on 2 seconds. I'm almost out of water here. Squeezing more water.
I'm way down here now, guys. My daughter's family have a cottage on Lake Michigan by Gulliver. Hi, Kathleen. Spectrum works better in my area. AT&T was super slow. Yeah, we have, right now we have Sudden Link, and before we had Frontier.
We only have
So
two companies. It's either one
It's
or the
that
other.
toss. Have glitchy videos, but you can still hear me. I'm just freezing on the screen. Or have not clear videos on the slower internet. And then I'll never, on the faster internet, I haven't tried it on the computer yet to run the multiple camera thing that I have. I should actually try that. So maybe I should have played with that today since I couldn't sleep.
Probably.
I have multiple cameras that I can hook up to a computer with a program. I'm thinking I'm going to have to try that soon now that we have the new internet. Maybe it will go good. Who knows?
It doesn't work for anything else, so I don't have high hopes on it.
Yeah. What about when you used your old iPad? That was really clear. This thing? Yes.
Yes, they like that.
Yeah, I could use that. Yes, I don't know if it's going to freeze or not.
It's still glitchy.
It's still
freezes.
yeah, it's still glitchy. It may be clear, but it's glitchy. Happy Friday. Did you look for a booster Jim recommended? I need to do that myself. No, we have not yet. Scott knows all about it. He has to look things up online.
The one they tried to give us didn't work. Our thingy is too new, so I don't know anything about it since our thingy is too new. Because they're supposed to give us one for free. So I don't really want to pay money when I'm supposed to have one given to me, but what I wanted to do was get her a cell phone booster for our internet through our cell phone, but she refuses that. She insists it won't work, but that's what our friend in Kingman uses for his internet because he has terrible internet, so he just uses his cell phone internet. So I wanted to do that for her.
We'll see something hopefully soon. We'll try to get something going. All right, I'm going to go ahead now and line these up on the 45-degree line.
Can I have my thingy back, please?
Here, this goes for you, Tiff. Did you? Okay, I already saw that. All right, everything's lined up on the 45.
Hi, Penny.
This is in my way. All right, laying nice and flat. I want to be able to go across all 4 of these pieces. We'll just make as many blocks as I can because I don't know how many I'm going to get. Cutting them at 1
Hi,
and
Kathleen. Hi,
3/4
Karen.
inch subcuts. So there'll be 1 3/4 inch subcuts because they are 1 3/4 inch pieces because we're making 4 patches. Come on, stay good. Right there. Again, I'm not tossing any of that away. All right. Can you see on the camera? I mean, where I am right now. Oops, 1
Yeah,
3/4.
but you're pausing every 2 seconds.
Mhm.
Yes, I can see, but it's... Jessica says there's Wi-Fi boosters you plug in your room that gets weak service. I get a Next Gear from Amazon. It looks great.
I have one, but it doesn't work with the new internet box.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Our box is supposedly too new that the thingies don't work with them. So the company is supposed to give us one. Who knows when that will be?
I don't know. Hopefully it'll get figured out soon because I'm starting to get very frustrated, and so is Scott.
You're starting? Scott's been
I've been-
frustrated for 5 weeks since day 1 when they hooked it up. Scott hasn't started. Wednesday's been 5 weeks.
I'm just cutting 1 3/4 inch. I don't know how many I need, but the leftovers can be used for something else. Because that's how I do things. I don't throw anything away. Well, I do throw some things away. Just going to cut the whole thing up. I should have did the math first, because you guys are going with me. So far I've cut 2 of each.
Kathleen says you gotta be the squeaky wheel. These big companies, you're out of sight, out of mind because thorn in the backside. Okay. Well, as I said, Kathleen, when I called him, the lady very nicely told me over the phone to suck it up. She didn't say that in her words, but that was what she said. It's kind of you either stick with what you have or you just cancel. That's what she told me in a very nice, polite way.
All right, tell me if it's back at the machine now.
We either deal with it or we cancel and go back to our other one.
Is it back at the machine now?
You have to look over here. I'm way delayed. Yes, you're back at the machine.
Okay. So now I am doing, hold on again, I got it. The A and B is together and the D and E is together, obviously. So this and this go together and this go together. And then I have it where, I gotta check my chart. A is what color again?
Like I was trying to tell you guys, I'd like to go back to the old internet that we had and get her the cell phone booster thing for her phone.
A is leaves.
That's what I'd like to try because the other internet was much cheaper. In my opinion, there's no point in paying for expensive internet. It doesn't work.
B is blue dots. So this is how my A and B unit go.
But we shall see.
And then my D and E unit is D on top and D is blue sky. Like this. And E is blue scratch. So these are how my two units are going to go, like this. I really hope this looks good. All right. So now I'm just going to start sewing a bunch of these together. I'm going to chain piece them all together. I'm also going to make sure that my 1/4 inch lines up and I have a nice straight piece right here. There we go. That'll be good right there. I'm going to start sewing these through. Same as before. Looks good to me. All right, right sides together. I'm just going to chain piece all of them through. And that's straight right there. All right. So that goes like that. Oh, gotta look again. Gotta make sure I'm doing the correct thing. That goes like that, and that goes like that. Totally, I'm gonna just lay a ton out. And they're pressed opposite, so they should always lay properly. Like this. Make a bunch. Let's make a bunch. That. Like that. I'm just going to sew them all together. Wrong way. That.
Morning, Teresa.
Welcome.
She says, boy, you're up early.
Yeah, I didn't sleep. For those that are just joining.
Hi, Ruby.
A bad night.
9-tailed foxes, Ruby.
Oops, like that. I'm just making a ton of them so that I can piece them all through. My little strip sets. And I'm just sewing and hoping that they lay where I need them to. So I don't really want to check every single one of them, but I mean I could, but I'm in a mood. Pretty sure they'll all be just fine. I'll check this one before I sew it. Should be fine. And I don't know how many I'll need, but we'll be counting as I make them. I'll count when I'm done. And then when I write the thing down later to post on Facebook, it'll have all of it written down to build this the way I'm building it.
Yes, Penny, this is for a client.
Yes, this is a client quilt.
She was on here yesterday. I don't think she's on here yet today. But we'll see if she pops up. It's for Joe, slowing down Joe. Penny says lovely blues.
They are. Very pretty. So I'm just chain piecing them all through.
Joyce, you don't really have to do that.
What?
But our address is down there. Is our address on there for a P.O. box?
Oh, yeah, there's a P.O. box.
Our P.O. box address is down there, but you don't have to do that. Joyce was going to send us her booster. She says she has one that she's never used. She'd send it to us.
I have a P.O. box if anyone wants to send anything.
Yeah, we have a P.O. box down there.
Just letting you know I like postcards. From around the world country. You can't see up here probably, but
No, I have to move the camera up there. We'll get that in a minute.
I like postcards. Don't know why. I've never been to those places. Probably never will go to those places. So. The postcards allow me to have pretended in my mind that I'm there with you.
It's very kind of you, though, Joyce.
Some of them I'm checking, some I'm just sewing through. Since the other day, they weren't all perfect. I do need to make sure some of them come out almost correct. Just making a ton of little. That way I can just grab and sew.
Don't worry, Joyce. You don't have to. We get a lot of people around here, Zella, that do that. They spend the winters here because it's nicer than where they're from. We call them snowbirds.
Yeah.
Zella goes to Florida every winter.
Well, if anybody is a snowbird and you want to come to Arizona, there's plenty of snowbird rentals around here. And you can come hang out with me all the time.
Oh, yeah, Bonnie, with the steel roof, they asked us that. Supposedly the steel roof really messes with it.
Yeah, we don't have a
Bonnie
steel
has
roof.
a steel roof.
No, we have just a regular shingle roof.
Morning, Vicky.
A steel roof would make this house so hot.
Yeah, they don't do that much out because of the heat. It's too hot.
We get shingle or tile around here.
Well, some people have the flat adobe style.
Oh, yeah. Which is popular, but it's very, very hard to keep up with.
Well, thank you, Joyce. We can try it if you want. We will gladly give it a shot. But like I said, then the guy was here hooking it. He said our box was too new for the one that we were supposed to get for free. And it wouldn't work. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to give you a ton of these to start on.
That's why I wasn't going to go out and buy one if it's not going to work. So I don't know. We will give it a shot, though.
And just make a pile if they're off. I can fix them. If it's off, just fold it right back in half again like this so I can pick it, you know. That looks good. But if it's not, you know.
Okay, same thing I did yesterday?
No, the day before.
Wait. It wasn't yesterday?
Nope. I started this on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah, yesterday was the long one. Sorry. Yep, the day before. Same thing I did, though.
Yeah.
Iron them and make your piles. I can do that.
There you go.
Hi, Beverly. Beverly says hi.
So if it's really off, just fold it back in half and iron it so that I can
I got you, honey.
cut it.
I'm doing the same thing I just did the other day, right?
Yep.
I'll make your piles. Don't you worry, honey. So me and Squeak go to work. We got work to do today. Enough talking about terrible internet. You guys have had me talking all day. What's everybody else doing? You guys sewing on stuff?
Who's sewing? Who? I want to know who's going to make this. Who's going to make this Lonstar? Anybody?
As Vicky's saying, who? Who let the dog out there?
Who is going to make this quilt? Now that I'm giving all the instructions, and when it's one of those sight unseen quilts, you don't know what's going to happen until I'm done. It's in my brain. I like that though. Like it's like a mystery quilt. You don't know.
Program here. See you later, June. June's gotta go. She'll catch
Okay.
up with us later.
I'll be around for a little while, as long as it takes to make all these sections.
These are beautiful. I love these little blues.
Oh, clouds are rolling in. Really dark ones too.
We had a lot of rain past, what, 2 weeks ago? A week and a half ago?
Don't forget to hydrate when you're sewing. That way you'll have to pee, and it reminds you to get up and stretch. I'm all about the stretching lately.
Well, you did do your little workout video for everyone.
I had to show you guys my workout that I do.
For those of you that haven't watched it, it's only half an hour long, and it's very informative. She did a good job.
It's just light stretches and exercises to do to keep when you have MS and so on and so forth, you know, medical conditions. And now I have more than one. It keeps your body a little bit more feeling better.
She made me watch it the next morning and critique it, and I thought she did a very good job. No critiquing really needed.
I could show you more of the stretches if you guys want someday that I do, because I do way more than I showed in the video.
Well, it's a good break every now and then just to do something different. It pertains to your stuff because it's your life. Tiffany's quilting life, so every now and then.
A life video is in.
Life video, yeah. Okay, Bonnie, we'll see you later. Bonnie Baker's gotta go.
Okay. Thank you for joining.
Yep, we appreciate you guys coming more.
Oh, good. How many am I off on so far?
So far, none.
Oh.
Every one of them so far has been really good.
Oh, good.
And these colors look amazing together. I am liking them. I'm liking these. These ones here.
Oh, that
Those
combo.
ones. I'd hang that up on the wall. That is awesome color. Yeah, so far none are off, my love. You're doing a very good job.
Good, because I didn't want to repeat of the other day, except for that wide seam that I just did. Throw it out of the way. Give Scotty some more to.
Oh, Bonnie's got to go cook for family. She's having family visit. She hasn't seen.
Oh, fun!
since
Enjoy.
September. They're coming to visit her son and her family.
That's good. Good. Good.
Yep, that'll be fun.
All right.
Zella says I really like your colors.
So do I.
Well, as I told you guys earlier, she took 4 hours, or not 4 hours, over 2 hours picking them out at Joann's. So I hope you guys like them. She did take her time and she picked out the perfect.
Combo.
I think it's perfect anyway. She did not rush it.
All right. Let's just hope this is enough pieces. It should be. I need to make
How many are you
8,
needing of
9,
each?
10.
So far, I've been putting them all in one pile. I can put them in 2 different piles. So we can count how many you have.
6. What's 8 times 4?
32.
There's more than 32 of these here, right?
I have no idea. I said I can put them in piles and start counting. Patterns. So far, you have 2 different color patterns.
Yeah.
I can put them in 2 different piles. Or do you just need 32 total?
I need 2 different piles.
Huh?
2 different piles.
Okay. How many? 32 in each?
Yeah.
Okay. I can help you with this stuff if you tell me, especially ahead of time, because now I already got one big giant job going.
So if you're just joining, I'm making 4 patches of diamonds. Same thing I did the other day, except I already finished my 8 big, huge star points. So now I am working on building the empty space. I'm going to fill the empty space with more stars because I don't want a lone star when I can have a bunch of stars. because it's awesome.
So your Lone Star is not technically going to be alone.
Nope. That's what I said earlier.
Going to have
It's gonna have friends.
company.
Star friends. All right. 2 more, and then I gotta pick the one and re-sew it because I accidentally veered away and it has like a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And it can happen even with my little guide here. Because I have a little guide foot on, and yeah. I don't know how it's possible, but it happens.
Well, that's okay, Kim. You can teach me all you want. I don't mind. I have thick skin. I'm used to it.
What? What's wrong?
Kim was saying she hopes that I realized she was just teasing me earlier about keeping up. She said I have to keep up.
It's fine.
Yeah, I told her I have thick skin. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried.
All right, now throw these to Scotty.
I'm not worried in any way.
Grab me a seam ripper and get rid of this big, huge seam that I made.
Brenda Hinton says I am cutting scraps in 2 sizes.
Ooh, what you making?
Darlene is listening while driving. Just don't get in an accident now.
Don't watch the screen. If it sounds like something you need to look at, don't look. Keep your eyes away.
Yeah, since we were all just talking about this big accident in Texas, don't get in another one. Hi, Emily. Emily says hello.
Hello. All right, nope, it started veering about right here. Come on. Get under the stitch. Away. Come on.
Why is that one iron so flat?
Because that happens. That's how it works. All right.
Some of them have this big knot in the middle. That one there is like perfection.
There. I kept a 1/4 inch seam. Oh, and it looks perfect. Oh, I better pick those out though. The little threads. You know when you rip a seam and then you go to sew it together, but you totally space that you have to get rid of all those extra threads or they're just going to stick out. Happens
good,
to me
right?
all the time. Yeah, that's plenty fine.
Okay, you have to look really close to notice that one was off.
Okay.
So far, that was your farthest.
So I've only had to rip once today. Woohoo! Seam ripping count 1. All right. Now that I say that, it'll probably happen more. All right, so I need this and some of these.
Hold on, I don't have any count yet.
You don't need to count. Don't worry.
So you wanted me to count to make sure there was 32 in each
I'm
pile.
just going to start building. All right, so I'm hoping you can see right here really good. So this is what I'm building.
I can't tell you if there's 32 in each pile.
A and B are going to go up here. C and D, E and D are going to go right here. And this is going to go right here. And this is going to go right there. So I am going to build 8 of these, and then another 8 of these, and then another 8 of these, and then another 8 of these, and then 2 more times. So I probably don't have enough of these, but so far we're at 2 strips. And I should be writing this down because 2 of each so far. That way I can keep track when I write this for you guys on the Facebook group. For A, B, D, and E. And then I cut 4 C so far. Because I didn't do the math. So I need to make 8 of those for now. Just to have 8. So we're going to go like that, and like that.
Okay, here's your actual first off one. Is it good?
No. Fold it in half, I'll pick it out. It's not good enough for me.
Okay.
Again, we're gonna go this,
Going over there then.
this, that, and that. Oops. That and that. I'm gonna just lay them all out. That way I got the hiccups now. Go figure. That. Those 2.
Oh, I got water. Drink some more.
And that's 4. This, that. There we go. This. Those 2.
Hi, Tom. Tom says hello.
Hello. that, that, and these two, and one more will make, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of pieces I need to cut because this is just enough for 2 blocks so far. That and that. All right. Yep. I knew I was gonna need a lot more than I thought in my brain, but that's okay. I have tons of fabric I can cut, which makes it perfect. So I'm going to now piece this together, but I am going to get rid of
So
dog.
even with what I have over here, you don't have near enough?
Probably not.
Okay,
I'm going to
that's what I
cut the
wanted
dog
to
ears
count.
off of my pieces
That's what I wanted
and
to
then
count.
sew them together. Cut the dog ears and then sew them together. I'm just going to repeat myself a bazillion times. So I'm going to put these now right sides together and sew these two together. And there's nothing to match up on this as long as it goes together. And then these two will go right sides together. This, and again, there's nothing, no seams to match up. Just laying it on here with my little triangle at the top, you know, to sew into. All right, snip it apart. Then I'm going to finger press this towards my solid piece for bulk purposes so that there's no bulk, and then finger press this one down towards the solid piece, and then I'm going to put these two right sides together. I'm not even going to press it at this point, just finger pressing. And my dog ears are going to be on the outer side. I'm going to put these right sides together. And the only seam that I need to make sure of is going to be the seam that goes in between the two. Okay, that's the only seam I'm watching for. And again, all I have to do is match or nest that up. You can use pins if you need, but again, you guys know I don't pin anything. So I'm going to line this up right here, making sure that I have it making a straight line at my 1/4 inch junction. Stop my needle at that spot. Lay that down nice and flat.
I need.
Open it up to one side. That's good enough for me. It doesn't need to be super duper perfect. And this is what I'm creating. So I'm creating 2 4 patches and 2 singles to create a 4 patch diamond point like this. Now I need to repeat this 7 more times and then repeat it a bazillion more times after that. So I'm going to have to put more fabric for that. So here's my little sample piece, and now I just need to sew from that. So I'm bringing another set over here. I'm going to cut the dog ears off while I'm right here. And then sew it together. So again, I'm just sewing these two, nothing to match or line up, just making sure I have that V. I'm wondering if I can get all these done today. I probably might be able to. We'll see.
Oh, you want your video to run. I guess that's the question.
Okay, snip it apart. Press it towards the solid piece. Put them right sides together. Making sure I have my little indentation where I know I'm going to start. I sew in a couple stitches. I'll fold it back and look at the 1/4 inch and make sure that I'm going to have a nice straight line, and I am. And I sew on down, making sure that everything goes together wonderfully. And then I finger press it, and again I have this nice wonderful thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and make all of these just one at a time. I could probably chain piece the whole lot of it all together, but it's fine just doing it one at a time, just like this. Oops, stay right there. There we go. And the next set.
Something about that just looks wonky when I look at it compared to another one.
Well, maybe it's just the way the scratch.
Okay, I look at this one, I look at that one, it kind of looks more, I don't know.
No, that's
It's
fine.
good though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, something about it just,
Doesn't look right.
I don't know why.
Screw it, I'm gonna chain piece them all. Just gonna cut the dog ears off and run them all through. These two go together. I know that every set of two goes together in the order that I'm sewing them. Chain piece.
So I quilted another baby quilt yesterday.
Oh.
Ironed it this afternoon.
Fun. I need to load another one on the long arm. That's probably what I'm going to do later if I
Emily on the
don't
treadmill.
crash.
She says she's so winded, but well. Get that workout in. I worked out earlier today, so.
And when I'm completed with this, I'm hoping, because my brain doesn't do math correctly, I should have, once all 8 of these are put together, it should equal just under 22 inches in its full circumference when put together. And I'll show you with these how we get the measurements for any Lonestar to work. I'll show you how you get those measurements. I did it once before for you guys when I did just a single star block. It's the same concept. So I'll show you how that works. And this will be the same way to get your math for your bigger Lonestar pieces. Whatever I do here with these smaller ones, it's going to be the same math. Exactly. It's not math really, it's just measurements that you have to do when laying it out on the floor. You don't necessarily have to lay it on a floor either, honestly.
Babies, and I got one other bad one.
That's good.
So you only have 2 real bad
That's
ones.
good. And that's fine.
Okay. I only got 2 bad ones. So. The one that you gave me and one other one that I found.
And these can get pressed now.
Any special way?
They're already finger pressed. Just make sure they
Okay.
stay super flat and those seams don't fold.
Okay, so just don't screw them up, in other words.
Yep. Just don't screw them up. He's learning. Everything in the block world needs to be 100% as flat as you can possibly get it. That's why I use lots of steam. And for those big, huge blocks, I did lay them all out and then I starched everything and then repressed it. So they're nice and crisp because I knew that I'd be moving them around a lot. You're going to be moving your Lonestar pieces around. These ones, I don't need to starch. But that big, huge piece definitely needed to be starched. And you can tell if you need to or not, or you can just pre-starch your fabrics. All right, so that's a set right there. We're not going to separate it until we sew it together. So every single 2 sets. So now I'm going to just work on this one first. Oops. So this goes, presses to the solid piece, presses to the solid piece, and then line them up, put them together. So super duper simple. 1/4 inch, come on, right there. There's a 1/4 inch seam right there. Make sure. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Next 2 snip them apart, finger press it to the solid piece. That way there's no seam bulk. Make sure it's correct. Put them together. This goes so easy.
Just put it in the iron?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
If I throw it over there, it's ready. I'm just going to make
Does it matter
sure
which
that
side I
this
open it to?
lands where I want it.
Does it matter which side I open the seam to?
No. Perfect. Next two. Yeah, I probably won't get all 4 stars done today, since this is just the one for now. But I can try.
As long as you show
Well, the sun has gone away, guys. It is cloudy here. You guys are sending your cloudy, dreadful cold weather my way.
Okay, the past 2-3 days it's
I
been
know.
so hot. Been sweating. It's only
All right,
February.
perfect.
I dread the next few months.
Line it up. That's where I want my point. And that's correct. 2 more left to sew. Yay. And then I'll tell you guys how to create your own numbers. For your own, anything you want to make star-wise. Lone stars, regular stars, triple stars, quadruple stars, any star you want. I'll be able to explain to you how to get those numbers.
Thank you, Kim.
What you do.
It's super sunny with tons of snow there where she is, and she says it's blinding.
I bet that'd be
You have to
weird.
wear sunglasses to go outside in the snow. Yeah, that's an actual real thing.
Well, I know, like Kim was telling me when we were talking one day that it was like white out. You know,
Yeah,
like
yes,
it's
I know what
so
that means.
snowy that it was white outside.
Yes, I know what that means. Yes.
Well, I don't, because I don't go in snow.
Oh, okay. You know
I've
what
never
that
seen
means?
it white out.
Yes. Vicky said, I never loved this Lonestar Quilt, but I love blues. The more it's better, I say.
Perfect. All right, there's all done. Let's wipe this off the desk.
Oh no, Judy, that's
Trash.
okay. You can keep that cold. I just like our winters cold.
All
Our
right,
winters
so
where it's like 70 degrees.
this for the next set, because that's not going to be enough.
My love,
I'm going to count how
you
many.
got a little, you're gonna have to like trim that edge off.
Oh no, it's fine.
It sticks out.
He's only sticking out because he's not fully open.
Yes, he is. I tried that.
That's
See?
fine. It's
It
fine.
sticks
I don't
out.
care.
Okay.
All right, so now I'm going to trim all these dog ears off while I'm here. Oops, let's face you guys downward right there, hoping that the fabric stack is not in the way. So there should be 4 or 3 or 4, something like that. I'm just gonna spin it around and chop all these off. That way I can lay it out right here on the table and show you guys how to do the measurements. And this is going to pertain, again, towards the big blocks as well. This is not just for little blocks. This is for any blocks. Anything you make in a diamond, and you need to put it together into a square.
It was hard to iron him flat because of this. I couldn't do it. It would have wrinkled. So I just, I don't know. Okay. You can just have a little puff there. I don't know what to tell you.
Excessive amounts of heat help.
I don't know.
It's fine.
It wasn't even.
All right, so we're trimming all these off. Is the screen faced down good enough to see the whole table right here?
Let me come over here. Yeah, they can see the table. They can see up to this line, the gray. Up to that gray
One
line.
more. This makes all 8. Oh, it should be all 8. Confetti everywhere. All right, here we go.
Do you want me to take it down further so they can see more of the mat? Or is it good?
So
Okay.
this is what we're building right here.
It's looking pretty. I gotta tell you.
Oops.
How many of those stars are you gonna put in it now?
I have to make 8 of these.
Whoa. A big star
I
plus
mean,
8
4
of
of
those?
these. To make
Oh, I was
4
gonna
of
say, how are you
these.
gonna fit 8 of those on there? It's gonna be a ginormous quilt.
Once they're sewn together, this should be not the size I wanted. I really thought it was going to be the size I wanted. I laid things out. Oh well, we're going to make it the size I want it. All right, so here it is. This is how you're going to get the math
Okay, the
for all
size
this.
Okay, I'm confused. What do you mean the size you want it? You want it bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
Oh.
Anyway, this is how you figure out the math. So if pretend this was a big, huge Lonestar, okay? You have your 4 corners right here and right here. Here's my 4 corners, okay? And then you have your inset right here pieces, okay? All those. To get the math, I'm going to show you right now. Take a ruler, lay it right here on the block in that corner. Line them up just like this. Lay it in that corner. Remember, you're going to lose 1/4 inch seam. Don't worry about that. Lay it
so pretty.
right here in this corner and come here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5. So you want to cut an 8-inch piece. So you want to cut an 8-inch square right here and then cut it on the diagonal once. That's how you get this math. So no matter how big your diamond turns out, you only had just this little diamond right here.
Kim says it's really pretty.
Okay, if you had just these little diamonds, it's the same exact thing. So I need 4 8-inch squares, cut on the diagonal once. Now, how do you get this one right here? How do you get this number? Well, again, lay them nice and straight. Lay your ruler from tip right here of your diamond to the tip right here of your diamond. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.5 right here. So I have 10.5 inches between there and there. Okay. So I need to cut an 11.5-inch square. And then I cut it on the diagonal 4 times. Does that make sense to you guys? So I would be cutting an 11.5-inch square, big, huge square, cutting it on the diagonal twice. So I'm going to build this block anyway right now as we're right here, just so you guys can see what I mean. So I need 4 8-inch and 1 11.5. So we're going to just move this out of the way, and I'm going to show you how it goes together as if this was the big Lonestar, but it's really not. I just want you guys to be able to see how this is done, because I have to make all these other blocks off camera. Because I'm gonna be at it for a little while. More than a little while. I'm gonna be at it for a while. Okay, I need a nice straight to start.
You're really going. You just started it the other day. You already got a lot done. I'm proud of you. I'll get that. I'll get that. Just keep going.
All right. So I'm cutting 4 8-inch blocks, which all I need to do is cut an 8-inch strip, just one,
He says
because I'll get all 4.
8 a.m. is a great time for me, just saying.
So here's one, and I'll get 4 subcuts. Now I need to cut an 11-inch square, and I'm going to need some for later anyway, so I'm going to line this up on a line, and my ruler is not 11 inches, so I'm just going to line this up on a line. We're going to come over to the 11, just like this, and I'm going to make a cut. We're going to subcut this now into 8-inch squares. I only need 4, so we're going to take off the selvage first, which is about that big. Yes and yes. Making sure it's nice and straight. I'm going to come to the 8-inch mark right here. Just like that. I'm going to cut another 8-inch one because my ruler is 8.5, so I'm just lining it up on the 8-inch mark. Come on. This ruler likes to take the fabric with it, so I got to be very careful lining it up on there. And then I save my little scrap. I'm going to turn these diagonal and cut once on the diagonal. Just like this. And once on the diagonal, just like this. So here are those pieces. I'm going to keep them together because I want the opposite side of it with it. And now we're going to cut the 11-inch one. I only need one, so I'm just going to pull this away. We're going to line this up and take the selvage off first.
Vicky says she made a Lonestar quilt many years ago with her girlfriend who passed away about 2 years later, and now I have it back. It is so pretty.
Awesome. Well, not awesome that she passed away,
Yeah,
but awesome that
awesome
you got
to
it
get
back.
Yes. Awesome that you got the quilt back.
Yeah. Well, because some families, when the family members die, they just start throwing things away. That would annoy me.
Well, that's what's going to happen when we go.
My kids will
have
save all the quilts. They have tons of quilts already, but
They have
I bet
already
you they'd
told us
save
that
them.
they don't want any of our stuff. Well, the quilts maybe they'll keep, but all the rest
So
of our
we're going
stuff.
to the 11-inch mark. Oops, stay. I'm going to cut that. And we're going to cut this on the diagonal 2 times. So like this. And then pick it up. Don't move anything and cut it. This ruler kind of sucks for this whole recutting thing because the ruler is like grasps the fabric. And then these are the setting triangles, whatever. So let's lay this out again so that you can watch how this goes. And I should have it correct because I've done these a bazillion times. But if I mess up, that's sorry. That's a big sorry.
It looks good, honey.
Okay, so here's that. So I'm going to take these 2 pieces and I'm going to stick them right here. They're oversized, so they're going to stick out further.
Yep, I can see all that.
Okay.
It's good.
And we're going to take these 2 pieces and we're going to stick them right here. These 2 pieces.
You want them to stick out farther? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I probably could have cut them just a little bit bigger than this.
Okay.
And these 2 go right here. I'm going to move that ruler out of the way.
Okay.
And then here are the corner ones. Now, if you want, and this is what I usually do, I stack them all up and I'm going to cut them directly in half. So I'm going to stack them all up because it's better to piece them in half.
Why can't you just make one triangle? It goes right in there.
Because then you have a Y seam. You have to stop, pivot, so on.
Oh, okay.
Most people don't want to do a Y seam. So
oh, I gotcha.
I do this. We're going to line these up on a line right here. It ends at what line number is that? 11. What is half of 11?
5.5.
5.5 inches. We're going to cut this in half. We have it straight on this line. straight there. Gonna lie this on the 5.5. Just like this. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay,
I
good.
don't know how clear they can see it, how good it is, but
Now
yes, they can
they're
see it.
cut in half. Flip them over. Just like this. We're gonna put here.
Vicky Robo says to keep your hair cut short as you are as cute as a koala. She said that she had to think of the cutest animal I know. Makes me think of going back to short. Ponytails are easy.
And right here. So this is how the
Did
star.
you hear that, honey? You're
Yeah.
cute as a koala. I
All
like
right.
that. That's funny.
So this is what we're gonna do. Turn the camera facing me,
Yes, 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 yes.
but to where you can still kind of see this quarter section right here.
Yeah.
Can you still see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want your head in the video though?
Sure.
Okay, well, I don't have your head in the video now, so I have to come up just a little bit. Right there.
Okay. I'm putting this together, and this is way oversized than I wanted. I wanted 22 inches, but this is more than 22 inches. We'll see what it turns out as when I get it together. We're going to start off by grabbing one of these and one of these. I'm going to put the right sides together on here. Oh, man, yeah, this is too short. It should have been 11. What did I cut it at? 11? Yes, I should have cut 11.5.
Well, they're saying it's beautiful. Penny says beautiful. Joyce says beautiful.
We're going to change this real quick to 11.5. We're going to keep these
You
together.
You cut them in half at the 11.5 mark, which was 5.5.
These are a quarter inch
So-
more than they need to be. That's proper.
So they were 11 inches because you cut them at 5.5, which was half of 11.
Yeah, and I'm going to lose.
So yes,
I'm going to lose size. So give me a second. We're going to cut these a big, huge square that is. We're going to cut 12 inches just to be on the safe side.
Brenda says, Tiff, can you just use just half of the star? Maybe since your star's so big is what she's asking.
No, I'm going to just, you'll see what I'm going to do. If anything, this will just be a little wall hanging. These are correct.
Vicky says you have a cool shirt.
No, they're not. We're going to cut 8.5.
She put that on purpose today, Vicky.
Oh my goodness.
Because she hasn't slept yet, so that's her.
This is my non-sleeping. We're going to cut 8.5. I want 1/2 inch bigger. 1.5 inch bigger.
Okay.
We'll use
Well,
this
they were 11 to
if this
begin with,
messed
right?
with.
So what do you mean 8.5 now?
No, these blocks. I'm going to change these two. We're going to change all this numbers.
You just confused
Discard
me.
what I said. We're going to change all the numbers real quick. We're going to cut 8.5 inch instead, and this is why I bought lots of fabric. And then the other number is going to be 12 inch. 8.5 and 12. That's what we're going to cut. I need that extra 1/2 inch.
Am I turning the camera back over here?
No, just, it's fine.
Okay.
8.5 and 12
I can move
for
it.
this. 8.5.
It's a learning video, honey. Don't worry. They're
Well-
learning as you're learning. Your mistakes help them so they don't make the mistakes.
Well,
it's
my
okay.
brain is not.
I'm just saying it's okay. It's
And
okay.
12.
Just
8.5
calm down,
and
take
12.
it easy. It's okay. All is well.
I'm going to cut 1/12 off of here. And those other pieces will get used to make another something. Because I can. So I have 8.5 and 12 are the two cuts I'm making. The 12 is getting cut on the diagonal twice, and then the 8.5 just once.
Yes, Vicky, our winters are quite warm compared to the rest of you guys' winters.
And compared to the 12. I knew I was confusing myself. Alright. I'm going to cut this real quick and then I'll pull the block back and see where I am. Let me show you how to put it together.
Teresa says, I believe you need to add 3/4 of an inch to the measurement of the square.
Oops, it's supposed
You
to
want,
be,
or is it?
it's supposed to be
that one?
1.14. Like divide a number by 1.1 for something, something, something.
No, it's the thing we did yesterday was 1.414.
1.414.
Hi, Jaded. Jaded says hi.
All right, now I'm going to line them all up and chop them in half. I'm not on the camera. That's okay.
I can turn it. I told you that.
That's fine. Just lining them all up. Just know that you need to cut it a little bit bigger than...
Vicky says, I thought it was Saturday. It's Friday here, Vicky, all day.
Okay, those are my... Keep those together. Let's cut these into 8.5, which goes really easy because it's already an 8.5 inch ruler. Makes it super simple. And then we'll cut them on the diagonal one time.
Teresa says it's better to have more. You can always square it up.
Yeah. Well, I usually cut them big.
Hi, Wendy.
So I'm most likely a brain farting right now. All right. Now that should be correct. Okay, let's lay them back out.
Wendy says good morning.
Morning. All right. This should be better. Oh yeah, much better. 1/2 inch bigger than that number. So if your number is 8 inch here, cut it a 1/2 inch bigger. That way I don't have to brain fart on camera anymore. And I can just show you how to put it together instead of telling you everything that's wrong. I'm going to write this one down. 8.5. And then, what did I say the other one was? I cut 12 inch. And that was, there we go. That way I can tell you guys later what I did.
Good morning, Heather. Heather says morning.
Oh yeah, perfect size. Perfect size. What was I thinking? Okay, so let me face it down so you can see. There it is laid out. That's better. So again, to get your number from any size diamond, measure the side of the diamond, not the from side to side to know the size of the diamond. Like this one is a 5.5 inch diamond. You want the side. So if it comes out to be 8, then you want 8.5. If your corner tip to tip is 11.5 or 11 inch, you want 12 inch.
Hi, Elena. Elena says hello.
Now let's put it together. We're going to be doing this in quarters. So it's going to be put together in quadrants like this. Okay. And we're going to come over to the sewing machine and we're going to start with this quadrant. We're going to start with this side first, then do this side, then put them together. Do this, put them together.
Elena says, oh, it's looking beautiful.
All the way around. Let's go back over to the sewing machine.
I can move it for you. Debbie.
There, I think. All right, so I'm going to start with this piece.
Heather says this one seems a little smaller than the last one.
Yeah. We're going to line up perfect.
She's joking. She says, oh.
Like this. I'm going to stick it over on this right here, lining up this side. See, lining up that side. And then it's going to stick over quite a bit down here in this corner, which we will cut off. And so, 1/4 inch. Open it. Then grab this next piece, putting it on this side, and it's going to be oversized. I'm also going to hang it over about a little 1/4 inch tab down here at the bottom, and I'm lining it up right here on this side like that. I'm going to flip it over and sew it, and it's going to stick out on the top because we cut it a little big. And we'll just square the block up when I'm finished. So now, just gonna finger press that, and I should have a nice straight line on this side. So you can see it's a 1/2 of a block. Obviously this sticks out, but that's good because that way I can cut out to size. And now I'm going to do this same thing here. So I'm going to line this one up with this edge like this on this edge, and it's going to stick out on the other edge. And I'm going to sew that.
Are you making 4 of these smaller ones to go in the corners of the big one?
Yes.
Is that what your plan is? Okay. Yep, Teresa, you called it. That's
And
what
then
the master plan is.
if I put this back right here, I want this piece on top of here. But again, it does not line up at the top. So I'm going to stick it down 1/4 of an inch. So I have a little tab just like when I'm doing diamonds, and it's going to hang out on the top quite a bit because we cut it oversized. But I want it to come straight when it gets put together. The quadrant itself, I mean. And I made this too big, so I need to do something different. Or cut it down to size and or build onto the star first, then insert these in a border, like 1/4 borders, where it's, or like 3/4 borders. So here it is, nice and straight right here. We're going to take these two and we're going to trim that dog ear off right there and right there. We're going to take these 2 pieces now, put them right sides together, and then we're just matching up the ends. And because all these pieces are pressed opposites, they should nest right up. And then the only thing I do is flip a seam. So I'm going to just line them up at the end, nesting up my seams. And making sure that I'm sewing correctly.
Vicky says you're great at what you do with the sewing machine.
Okay. One is wanting to suck down in, which doesn't usually happen in this machine.
Elena asks, would you say it's harder making the smaller ones than the big one?
The smaller stars?
Yes. I'm pretty sure that's what she's talking about.
I don't know.
Which one did you think was easier in your opinion? They both about the same to you?
Yeah. Both about the same, yes. So I'm just flipping the seams because I finger pressed it away.
Right?
Yeah. My thing is math. I struggle with math. I struggled with it in school. I'm struggling with it as an adult. And now that I'm a quilter, I seriously struggle with it. So now here is a quadrant. Everything is nicely nested together. And it looks funky because I need to trim it down. Obviously, I cut these kind of big, but I did that on purpose. All right, so there's one quadrant down. Let's bring another quadrant over here like this. And then lay this one over there for now because it all needs to be pressed anyway. We're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to lay this one on here, lining up this side. So I'm lining up this top side. Can they see down here? Right here?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. So I'm lining this side up and this side up. So it's going to stick out down here on this far side.
They can see up, down, and all around. Yeah.
What?
That was just being done.
Finger pressing it back. Lay it back. Take this one, lining it up on this side, but it's going to stick out on the top and only 1/4 inch. You'll have your little lip down here. So you see that it's hanging off just a little bit. Flip it upside down and sew it. And finger press it. It doesn't matter which way because I'm going to be flipping a seam anyway. So you should have a nice straight edge right here. We're going to repeat that process again. Lining this up like this. And it's going to hang off on one side. Turning it around. Obviously, don't confuse yourself. Lay it back. Put the other side on. Remember, it's going to stick out at the end about 1/4 inch. That way you have a nice straight block.
Wendy asks, on the side triangle, did you offset the 1/4 inch on the inner angle?
What?
On the side triangle, did you offset the 1/4 inch on the inner angle?
Did I offset it? Yes, I'm offsetting them. This one can go this way. So now I'm going to get rid of the dog ear right here because I pressed the other one downward. And now I have 2 straight pieces. And I'm just going to put them together. And I'm going to nest seams and sew on down. So you can start whatever direction you want because they're equal. And just remember that this is the bias right here, not out here.
Well, Vicky and Elena are saying that the bigger stars seem to go faster.
These ones, it seems like there's a little bit more extra work too. And these should all nest because of the whole dark light thing.
Elena's saying the smaller pieces, less room for forgiveness.
And I'm going to finger press it this way. So there's another quadrant like that. Now we're going to make another quadrant. So again,
Vicky says that is okay. She's trying to accept almost when it comes to piecing. LOL. Not quite, but close to doing it that way.
press that out, lay it back, take this one, put it on there. They go pretty quick once you get to these parts. I'm probably just going to have to shrink this down in size. Use this for something else and shrink my pieces, but use the same pieces. Probably have to shrink it down to like, I really don't want to use 1.5 inch diamonds. But I will if I have to. So again, I have a nice straight line. This again, right here.
Heather says once you get the hang of it, it all goes fast anyway.
Oh, yeah.
I finished the minion pattern I was working on. Now I need to add some length to it.
Open this side up. Yeah, there's no way this is going to come out the size I think it's going to come out. All right, so now I'm going to take those two, put them right sides together.
Yes, Heather, post your minion quilt on the Facebook group site so we can all see it. I want to see a minion quilt.
I'm just going to nest all my seams.
Wendy says figuring out the math and setting these outside pieces seems harder than matching all those seams in the star. For Tiff it is. The math is the hard part.
Yeah.
Everything else
I got it
for her is
correct
easy.
now, though. It's correct numbers now. I just need to trim it down. I did do oversized pieces.
Okay, Heather tells us after she's added it, she will post pictures. I just have to get another couple yards of fabric first.
And one more time.
I don't have a little minion picture in our thing, or I would add a little minion picture to comment. But I found the little pictures on here. Closest thing I got's a monkey. There you go. There's my wannabe minion.
piece. And I will have to trim all these before I sew all 4 of them together because the these pieces are hanging out on the side. So I want to make sure that it's nice and flush so that every block comes together nice.
Elena says tonight it was either start dinner or watch Tiffany. She says, although I was late, Tiffany won.
It was either what?
Start dinner or watch you.
Oh.
I believe she's in the UK, she said the other day. So yeah, it's dinner time there. Vicky says, we are happy Tiffany won.
That one. Now this last one, and then I still need to trim, and then sew them all together. But I am going to press first with an actual iron, so make sure that iron is on, Mr. Scotty, so that these can all get pressed nice and flat before I trim. Because I have only finger pressed everything so far.
Yes, my love. We are ready when you are. Oh, Kim's saying she's listening. Wow, Cookie.
Now put these 2 together.
Okay, can I iron anything yet?
Yeah, start ironing those.
Okay. On the front, just the way they are?
Yep, just make sure there's no folds or anything. Like I say every time.
Yeah, Elena's in the UK. Although she's Aussie born. And part British. Aussie born.
And again, last one, pressing with my fingies.
I don't know, Vicky.
Oh, whoa, no. Hey, can you check my last 2 seams?
What?
My tension is bad. That's good. Let me see that
This is
one.
the one I ironed the side.
And that's good. Okay, for
It's
some
just
strange
one?
reason, yeah, look at this. Look what happened to my tension, guys. Can you see that jumbled mess all the way across the whole thing? That's the underside. The top side looks great. Sometimes that happens. Don't know why, and it just does. I just cut it all out like this with scissors.
Anyway, Vicky, we used that
loose.
CBD cream on Tiffany, and it didn't work too good. She didn't like it.
No, did not like it.
Smelled good. We liked that part of it.
Should peel right apart.
Lena says, I hate that when it happens.
I think it's because I start off really fast and it like tangles probably. I don't know. I don't know what happens, honestly. I just know that this happens every once in a while. Oops, wrong one. I'm gonna rip seams with that. Yep, that's gonna work. I'm just gonna slide this in here, the poker part at the top.
Elena says, for her, it's usually when my thread comes out of one of the sections on the machine.
Oh, mine's double rolled. That's what's wrong. On the top here, and the top, the bar thing. Oh, I forgot what it's called. Sorry.
The bar thing sounds good.
The bar thing. You wrap it around. It double wrapped itself. Wow. That's so horrible. And this time I will remember to start pulling out all this excess thread because it is a jumbled mess.
You want me to pick it for you? While you do something else?
No, I'm just got to pull the thread out. I'm trying not to stretch my diamonds either as I'm plucking them because I don't want to change the size of anything. All right. All this nasty crap come off the back. And then I'll rethread. There's actually a little tool that does this that you can use to pull all these little threads. I don't have one, but I saw it online. A lady was using it.
Really?
Yeah, it's a little tool that you just rub it against the edge of the fabric and it takes your picked threads out so that you don't have them sewn back into the seam. Don't worry about it. Leave it all there.
Okay, sorry. You know me. I don't like mess.
Come on. Curse it out. Curse it out. Come on. Oi. As long as it's not poking through the front, because that tends to happen.
Pokey, pokey, pokey.
All right. Put this right here for a moment while I just rethread. I'm also going to make sure the bobbin is good too while I'm at it.
Might as well.
I don't want anything messed up.
Don't want any more mistakes. Morning, Kathy. Kathy says good morning.
Morning.
Vicky, you talking about food? You're gonna make me hungry. Elena says she uses tweezers to do your thread thing, what you're doing there.
Okay.
The other Vicky Robles says, I just wish the bobbin and the top thread would run out at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, come on. Okay, there we go. Let's do that all over again. Line it up. I'm not speeding this time, so it shouldn't tangle.
Nancy says that's one of those tools to remove the thread and it works great.
It's like a little...
Hi, Melissa. Melissa says hi.
Hello. Little nubby looking thing that has kind of like a grip or something like that. At least that's the tool she had in the video, the lady that had the video.
Well, Nancy can take a picture of hers and put it on the Facebook site. There you go, Nancy. Now you got a job to do.
And there's still some threads poking through.
Don't nail mommy's stuff.
All right, here's the last one to press. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut anything off the outside. I'm only going to trim this straight. So that way, this straight right there, that way it all the blocks go together nicely. So for this, I'm going to use my 12.5-inch ruler. I'm going to lay it on here on the diagonal like this, laying it nicely. And then I'm going to use my thing and slice it down like that. Only on that inside. Thumper!
Did you get on it again?
Mm-hmm. So all I did was trim here and there. Now I just need to repeat that for the rest.
Nancy said, okay, I will take a picture and post it. Thank you, Nancy.
I'm just lining it up, lining up my diagonal on the diagonal. Tiny tad bit of wonkiness with this one. That's okay.
Nothing's wonky, honey. You did it. It's not wonky.
Line it up again, line it up again.
What do you do with all the excess up here? You don't cut that off?
Not yet, not till all four pieces are put together.
Oh, okay.
This is pretty much going to be almost the size that I need, because so far these are 12.5-inch blocks pretty much. And I needed 22-inch for my thing. But I'm going to put all 4 of these together anyway, and if I have to insert them with a Y-seam, I can, but I doubt it's going to be the size I need. Just letting you guys know, saying it out loud. Okay. Put the square ruler back. Put all 4 of these right here. Like that. And then I'm going to sew them together. I don't even know if you can see right there. Probably not. So here's all 4. Now I'm going to sew these 2, and then across here. And I'm going to line them up from the bottom. If the top doesn't line up, I'm lining down here. So I'm just going to sew these 2 down all the way. And these seams are pressed opposite. This one's this way, that one's that way. I pressed every single one of the seams the same direction. So that way when they're laid on top of each other, they are opposite.
Okay.
And I will have to flip 1 or 2 seams, but I'm used to that. Because I don't do that whole seam in advance, knowing which way a seam is supposed to press in advance thing that some quilters do.
Wendy has a question.
What's the question?
What were the final measurements you added for the background blocks?
8.5 and 12-inch. The 8.5-inch are for the outer sections, and the 12-inch is for the set-in triangle part. So I'm just nesting this up. Everything's lining up nicely. Flip the seams I need to flip. And sew on down. Folding the bottom. That seam is already opposite. This seam is not opposite. And this seam is already opposite. I'm going to take this one. Line it up under here. Making myself a giant 4-patch. And 1 more seam to flip right here. And line up this end. Now I'm going to press them opposite of each other. So one is going to go one way. And one is going to go the other with my finger only for now. I could use an iron. It would probably make the center lay down super duper flat, but...
Vicky says it's beautiful. Well, that leaves me out of making this. I'm into a bazillion little pieces. LOL.
Alright, so I'm lining the ends up and sewing.
But she wouldn't have to do the extra stars, right? Do the main star in the middle. That would be the lone star. You could do it without all the extra stuff, Vicky.
I really want to do this with all the extra stuff. I don't want to have to settle for not. You know.
I know you. I'm just saying for her. Nancy says it's called a seam fix and has a seam ripper on one side and a hard rubber with ridges on the other side. Seam fix. Nifty. Thank you for telling us that, Nancy.
All right, so I'm
Kim
nesting
says it's
that
really
middle.
gorgeous.
That middle's going to be super thick. Just know that in advance. I'm used to it, though, because I've done this a bazillion times. This is already opposite. That cat, I swear, he has been getting into everything lately. Now you can hear him knocking stuff over through the house. And I'm going to press this, then show you.
Put him in his tent and told him to stay. Now, whether he'll listen or not, that's the funny part. I'm sorry. I didn't know you still hated it. I thought we was done.
No. Not done until the block is complete. You know that.
With the ironing part, I thought you were done. No, you weren't done.
No. Ironing part not done.
Well, Joyce says someday I'm going to make one, just not right now. And it says she would have died seeing your minis quilt. I think she's talking to Vicky because she doesn't like all the pieces. You know, your little mini.
I want a nice flat block.
Heather says you can always take a mallet to it. LOL.
No, I don't need to. It lays flat. It's not that thick. Trust me, guys. The way I do it, look at that. It's perfect. Every single one of those come together nicely. Can you see that in the screen?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. They come together nicely. Look.
Yep, Vicky, that is
flat.
squeak. I've been using them all day. It doesn't squeak at all for me, but Tiff uses them.
It lays flat. See, no big chunk. It just lays nice and flat. So just perfect.
Elena's going to move back to Australia. Well, then that'll be at least 3 people from Australia that we got watching us.
So now all I need to do now is I'm going to trim with the outside of this. That's all I'm going to trim. So to get that perfectness, I'm just going to lay this on here and line up those corners and just trim.
Vicky says that's the reason she presses seams apart. She started back in the 80s and didn't change till 01. I've never liked it pressing it to the side. It'd be fine if it was easy towards the end. Okay. And Joe's on. Slowing down Joe says it's beautiful.
Now this is definitely not gonna. I have to change my numbers. So this
Melissa says, "Wow, that looks amazing." Beverly says, "Beautiful." Teresa says, "Squeak is back." I've been using them all day, Teresa. He's my go-to. He's my buddy. Melissa says, "Can't wait to make this. I have to finish my other projects first."
All right, there's part 2. I just have to change the math for this to fit into the Lonestar itself because it didn't come out the size I wanted. This is going to be way too big unless I adjust the borders on the Lonestar itself. We'll see in a minute. When I build as I go, that's why I always buy more fabric and I always I change things often and stuff like that. That's because I'm making it up as I go and it's just in my head, so I don't actually have real math numbers, you know. Oops, that didn't come off of there.
Tom says, "Wow, beautiful."
There we go. But seriously, did it really not grab it? Okay. So I'm going to have to change the size of the pieces. But here's this for now. And this is too big for what I need. It is 23¼ by, oh, this is way off. 24¼ 23, 24¼
Emma says it looks beautiful.
by 24½. It's off just a little bit. No, that could be a half. Let me try it right here. Let's see. Yeah, 24½. I needed a 22-inch. 24½ by 24½. So this is a perfect square. I needed a 22-inch piece, but I could always adjust somehow by building on. I don't know. We're going to see. Or else this just becomes its own little thing, maybe for the center of the back of the quilt. I don't know. I'm going to have to change my numbers, though. Definitely. Definitely need to change something. But here it lays flat. You can see that. It's perfect. There it is. Anyway, there that is. So obviously today's video got a little messed up and whatever. That's that. I think it looks awesome. Either way, it looks awesome either way for a little secondary project, but I have to change the numbers. I think I'm gonna have to go down to 2.5 inch blocks. That means my other pieces will need to be, to create 3 inch, I will need
Elena says this inspired me to try it.
2.5. I'm thinking right here, and I suck at math, to make it land. To start at 2.5.
Zella says looks
I
great.
need it to finish at 2. So that means I would need to do 1.5.
Diana says that looks
pieces.
nice for a pillow.
I would have to do 1.5 inch pieces. This would be a big pillow, 24.5 by 24.5. It would make a great little wall hanging or something. I don't know. We'll figure out what to do with it because I know that it's too big for me to try to squeeze it into that corner of the quilt. I need it to be 22 inches.
And how big is this one?
This is 24.5 by 24.5.
Whoa.
So.
There's no way you can cut down an inch on each side.
Nope, because I already have my 1/4 inch corners right here. So all of my tips are 1/4 inch all the way around. So off to the drawing board, but now you guys know what I'm trying to do with my Lonestar. I'm trying to build stars around it. So maybe this can be part of my extra quilt that I make out of the scraps. This can just go into it.
Thank you, Nancy. When we get off here, I'm going to check it out because I'm curious now.
Yeah, I'm all thinking out loud here. So this is what I'm trying to do in the corners of the Lonestar, but I went a little too big. I need to shrink it down. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to figure out my numbers, shrink it down.
Everyone's
then I will post
beautiful star.
Then I will post the sizes that I shrink it down to. So I guess I'm going to have to play with some scrap fabric because I don't want to cut too much of my client's fabric up.
Yeah.
Now that I've already done this.
For the fabric, so we don't want to use too much of it.
Yeah, so I'm going to
it's okay,
grab
Joe.
some
It'll
scraps.
look good when Tiff's done.
I'm going to grab some scraps and then
be worth
change my size. I should have just done all that this morning when I couldn't sleep and didn't want to go online. Change my numbers and then see what happens. And then whatever ends up to be 22 inch. I need it to end up at 22 inches. 22.25 at the most, or 22.5 at the most, I should say, because that way it'll fit just fine.
Well, Teresa says it looks beautiful, Tiffany.
Either way, it's fun, it's cute, and it looks cute. There's a little side project that goes with my little Lonestar, so you want to make a single Lonestar that's small, here you go. Instead of making a huge one. Okay, I'm going to get off of here because I have to pee so bad. And let me do the math and stuff, and then when I get it all situated on fabric and paper and wrote down, then I can come back and show you guys how to do this part all over again. Just at a different number.
Elena says, love that one.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people struggle with that whole center of the star thing. You guys said hit it with a mallet. I know that's a common struggle for people to not have that flat right there. Like, look at that. Like most people struggle with that. The way I do it with every seam going around like this, you know, as I'm building it, and then I just nest them all together and I push one to the right and one to the left when I make the 4-patch part, and they always come out flat. I don't really ever have a problem with anything bulky. So you guys will just have to do it my way, try it really fast like. Maybe it'll go together really good. And you won't need a mallet.
Well, Elena says you could use it to make a pieced back for the quilt.
Well, I already had intentions of whatever I can do with whatever I can do.
Tom says make a small quilt for the wall to match the big quilt.
Yep.
Yeah, client's quilt.
Yep. All right, well, I'm going to get off here because I got to pee. I got to pee really bad.
Okay, honey. Okay, let's
Anyways,
say goodbye to everyone.
Thank you guys for watching.
We will see you guys all later.
I don't know if I'll be on later or not. I have to do math and play with fabric. It's not this fabric. Love you guys. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment if you're watching the replay. Bye.
Bye, everyone.